Oh, test, test, test. All right, there's noise. Sorry about the vacuum.
Oh, sorry, it's really bad over here. So I don't want to talk and vacuum at the same time. I'll post the link. I really don't have much of a topic today. I was going to talk about the image of God. It is a topic, but I really don't know where to start and how to get it across. Uh, I kind of wanted to go off of yesterday's stream and the way it went, the way it went with New Life. My mic's too close to my face, I think. There we go. Uh, yeah, and I just did not like most of it. One of his assertions were wrong and kind of silly, but they were what they were. Hey, P, what are you up to?
What what happened yesterday? What whose assertions were wrong? What were you, I didn't miss it.
Oh, he was getting
Who?
he was talking about New Life. You know New Life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he comes in yesterday. Uh, and I guess he comes into us talking about. Oh, he's been watching the show, so we're talking about the Sermon on the Mount and the Transfiguration of Christ, and where he saw, they saw Moses and Elijah or whatever, right? And we were speaking of how, what if that's when there was time dilation or whatever it's called, and there was like a portal or a time rift to where instead of Moses being dead, like they're dead, they're actually seeing them from the past, talking to them in the past, and they're talking to Christ in the future. And it's not, they're not actually dead. They in their time they're dead, but they're speaking to them alive in the past. And that's kind of like what we were talking about to see if that was a possibility. Just talking about, the mechanics of it or whatnot. Um, just, because why not? And New Life throws a fit about how that's not centered around Christ when well, the context of what we're talking about, it's around Christ. So then he goes in this tirade about how we're not talking about Christ when we're talking about everything, but we're tying in the ideas of the philosophy behind the DC characters, right? To at least the God concept behind it. What they've created in string theory for the portal theory that we're talking. At least I call it a portal theory, right? Not even a theory or whatever. Just how it could potentially happen and whatnot. Because they talk about the whirlwinds and the Bible and all that. So just what got us the ball kind of rolling. And then
I know that
yeah, he just got upset.
the DC comic heroes are based on pagan gods. Like Batman represents Pluto. I think Superman is Apollo. I have to double check that. But I know that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we were kind of going on about. And then he's all like, there's nothing of Christ in there. I'm like, we're talking about Christ right now. Like, what are you talking about?
Superman.
Well, see, when he does that, it's like one of those things. It's like it limits God, right? He's limiting God to God and his ability to the potentiality. If God sees all things, who's to say he can't see the past and the present at the same time? Because he's the Lord or whatnot. I know it sounds like it's supernatural and all that, but who's to say? Who's to know? If he had a device or whatnot, anything like that. Some type of tech, as anyone like to go to.
From the way I understand about
yeah.
the future, like the Bible, to me is clear that there's free will, so that the future is not predetermined, that we can change it with our actions and our decisions and all that. But God can look into our hearts and predict what we will do. So he doesn't technically know the future, but he kind of can predict it, I guess, anticipate it.
Well, I kind of view it a little different, right? I think it's all in a sense, predetermined, but not. Because you do have, what are they? Those free thoughts, right? You have the things, right? I think Cerberus was talking about this yesterday with, like when you have a thought in your head, like kind of like premeditated murder. Or I think maybe I was talking about this, kind of like with the movie, what's it called? Oh, I forgot it. We just spoke about it. Mission something or Minority Report. With Tom Cruise, we're talking about how like that premeditated murder, and how you might think about doing something, but it may not happen. But then there are things that you do think about, and they are going to happen. Nothing can stop that from happening, is from what Severus was saying, and everything else was always meant to not be. So those valid options, I think, are God knows all those options, and if we were ever to go down a certain way, it would, there's only so much that we could potentially actually do. Because it's not only us that's being seen, but the interactions of everyone else potentially, you know. So God can see the guy who's going to stop you in a premeditated thought, like down the, because obviously he knows their thoughts on what they're going to do and what situation they're in and their response level and what they would do, because he has all the premeditated thoughts, right? That's why they'd say it's a sleeping God or whatever. Because if it's pre-thinking everything that we're doing and it's all just happening at the same time, that's one of the weird ones.
Cerebus has like this mentality where he wants to like limit himself, right? And I just see things totally differently. I think we should break limits and transcend them, and that's what we're meant to do. Like change who we are and become transformed by the Lord. But Cerebus would never want to do that. Cerebus likes to just limit himself and be in his little bubble or whatever. It's fake reality.
I said this the other day, to, I think, Ronan, right? Because he asked me, it was a weird question, because I think he was throwing out, and I don't want to sound this like a mean way, I'm just trying, it's the best way I can explain it. he was throwing out his bias about Christianity, right? And again, I don't mean that in a mean way, just as a fact statement, because some people might taste it sounds kind of mean, I guess, to me to say it like that, but I'm not trying to. It's just explaining. He threw his bias about there, and then he's like, "Is that right?" Because I want to make sure, even though I don't agree with it, I want to make sure I want to have the right understanding of it, right? And so I'm like, well, if you really want a great understanding, it's best to become a follower of Christ, because by doing so, then you'll actually know. Because having me tell you from my experience isn't gonna, again, it's not going to do any good. Because I have my own bias about it too. And what if my bias is wrong? If we compare, but then again, I don't know how that works because he doesn't believe. So how would he even know if I'm right if he holds to his bias, if he thinks I'm wrong? But he doesn't have any faith in what he says. There's no, I don't know if that works or not, the faith portion, right? Because it's kind of, they do hold the faith into that bias that people believe, right? There's that faith into it that's actually right, because that's how they believe it. But if they're incorrect, how would they know they're incorrect? Unless they ultimately just say it's all just wrong and it doesn't matter anyway, right? I guess
Yeah.
that's like the MacGuffin or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I was
It's all
watching
wrong. No?
Jefferson Spatchcock did like a reply stream to a reply stream I did to him, and that's I was like, oh, like he can't tell that he's wrong because it's just like he's on a totally different planet, and he's so wrapped up in this like propaganda he's a victim of, that he can't objectively discern reality whatsoever. And I think a lot of people are in this situation where being led astray by the world, we're all being deceived, and only through Christ and letting go of your anger can you actually objectively look at things. Like Jefferson was believing all these things that are totally false and framing things in false, like bearing false witness and slander against Gina Carano, and he doesn't even. I blatantly showed that to be the case, and he'll deny it. It's weird. It's like denying gravity or something.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Hey, Tommy.
Hey, boys, what's cracking?
I can't stand how young I sound on other people's airways. I hate it. I sound like a dang child. I'm a grown man. I'm going to be 30 in like 8 months or so, or whatever, how many months. I shouldn't sound like this. I need to just put a little bass in my voice. Start screaming. Something like that. Too timid. That's what it is. I need to go to war or something.
I didn't mean to call you a boy. I'm sorry, sir.
No, you're good. I didn't even notice that, to be honest. I'm just saying, I hear it all the time, and it's like, oh man. Because when I hear myself, I don't hear like how young I sound through the airwaves. It's weird. Because I sound a little deeper to myself, so it's like really weird to hear myself play it back. Doesn't even sound like the same person to me. I feel like I'm still in grade school when I hear myself. Like, this kid is talking. But yeah, how are you doing, St. Tommy?
I'm miserable, thank you. And
That's
you?
good. A little bit hungry. Yeah, I was talking about everything with the image of God and trying to get over to that. Like, I wonder if that's the same image as forms. I gotta look into the Hebrew to see what the representation of the Hebrew word was for that back in the day.
Where's Nude Life at? Where's he at?
Wherever he is.
That's a good argument against people who say God loves slavery or whatever, because if we're made in the image of God, then we're all equal, right? Because we're all made in the image of God.
Yeah, but I want to see like what. See, I was gonna go with the garden, right? Because it's kind of what Neil said about if God made Adam and Eve perfect, right? Well, if he made them like them, then how come they weren't already all knowing? Why wouldn't they all be potent if they were in the image of God? You know, that image of they could foresee everything and know everything if as we put on God, you know?
I
How
think they
come they didn't have that and whatnot if it's in the image? Or likeness, whatever
I think they
translation
can,
you like.
but then they ate from the tree and they entered the fallen state. And then now because of original sin, eating from the tree, the world became corrupted. So now when we're born into the world that's corrupted, we learn the corrupted ways of the world. And that's a situation where, and then you have to get born again of the Spirit, and God transforms you, and you can enter the kingdom.
One responsibility that man has was to give things names and titles because of the animals and to take care of the garden. Those are like one of the two things that Adam does is name the animals and then take care of this garden for me. Eat of all this stuff. But don't eat this stuff, you little shits. Bad things will happen. Bye-bye now. I love you. Bye-bye. Anyway.
I came in to ask because P. Mars pointed out that we are made in the image of God. That's what he said, yes? And I would believe it was yesterday. Cerberus was talking to that one gentleman. I don't know his name, my apologies. But he said, if man is flawed, that means God is flawed because we were made in his image. I'm paraphrasing, just to get to the point. And I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, that if that's true, then God is flawed. It's because it doesn't stand to reason otherwise. So how do you view that?
Because we're flawed, then God's flawed?
Well, yes, because I forget the gentleman's name again. He said, man is flawed. And then the point was that we were made in God's image. And that's when Cerberus pointed that out. If we're flawed, that means God is flawed because we're in his image. It's like it stands to reason. You know what I mean? One-to-one connection there. And I was wondering, wait a minute, if that's so, how do you view it? Obviously, I'm not theist, so it doesn't apply to me, right? But out of, like I said, respect to your faith, I just wanted to know how you perceive that when that factual point was made.
Oh, I think it doesn't necessarily follow that logic. I think it's kind of like when you clone a clone, and then that clone has like autism, sort of like Mr. Lizard. So like, we're not perfect image of God.
I think you're just trolling there.
No, you know what I'm talking about. When you clone a clone, the clone is all retarded.
No,
like
excuse me. The word was not clone. It said image, as in a mirror image, to be alike. That's the statement.
Yeah, I know. I'm making a metaphor.
If you're being an apologist, well, I can understand that. I'm just acknowledging that you're being an apologist.
It's just making a metaphor. We're not like the perfect image of God.
I think it's more of aesthetic, to be honest.
Okay. Well, in other words, it's still confusing in spite of, what is going on right now until someone explains it. I'm not going to make a conclusive statement, right? Because it's still up in the air. It's a new idea. I had never considered that. If that statement, because of the word, is true, then we are in his image, not a clone, not a copy, an image thereof, and we are flawed. So how does that get reconciled is my question. Again, I'm not concluding anything.
Sorry. But I'd say maybe more of aesthetics or by design, in the sense that kind of how we have designer jeans that have rips and holes in them. Like functionally, it doesn't seem like a good pair of jeans, but yet people still want that. You know, I don't know if it's like the flaws are in there for us to choose for it to be flawed because we want to be flawed, or it's just part of the design. And some of the pairs of pants, because not all pairs of pants, there's a pants form, which ultimately is God. God's the original, but we are all different copies of that form. So some of us aren't going to be the same. Some of us have our own rips and tears in our own pants through our own adventures and mishaps and our own designs. Because we just put the form. We're just the form of the Lord. But in the some sense, He guides us to, if we want to be like the perfect form, because we're made perfect to the Lord in the Lord.
Wait a minute. Now that brings up another question, but because how can we be perfect if we were born sinners and have to be born again?
Maybe again, I think part of the design is, or something like that, if you want to call it design or whatever, process, I don't know,
Because the world
is
is
that
corrupt and we're quick learners.
to adapt, yeah, and all that, because that's the way it's kind of programmed into us to always change and adapt. And I don't
Yeah.
know, I think we naturally do it too, right? People just, even without God, people just naturally make themselves better people, right? And like I said, I think maybe that's part of the design. And some people just find the Lord and do it that way, I guess. I don't know, then I kind of make it sound bad, like, oh, I guess you don't need to do it with God, I guess. But I guess
I,
that's what the Holy Spirit is for, I don't know. I think it's an eternal thing. So
the way
that's
the
kind of
way
hard to
I
say.
see original sin is like you're not born sinful because like in the Bible Jesus said like be like the child or whatever, the child's in the kingdom kind of. And so what happens is like the world is corrupt and then the child becomes corrupted by learning from the ways of the world. And it's sort of like, if your parents are drug addicts or something, the kid might be born addicted to a drug. It's not like the kid's fault, but because of the parents' decisions, it corrupted the child, right? I think it kind of works like that.
Yeah. So Tom, did you ever get my DM?
I mean, what to me,
Tom,
okay,
Possibly. Yeah.
okay.
Sorry. Real
I was
quick.
well, what I was actually gonna say because of that, I think I would use this as like the last stream I'm on.
Oh, okay. All right. Till the next one.
Yeah. So the next one it will be like this one will be like the last one.
Are you
You get
addicted
what
to streaming? Do you need help, Mr. Lizard? Are you in Streaming Anonymous? SA Anonymous?
No,
Streaming Addicts Anonymous?
it's more
SAA?
like I hear stupidity and I can't take it.
From others or from yourself?
Others.
He
Okay.
hates
If you
me.
know, if you notice, like every time quite often when I tried to stop joining the streams a while back, is that whenever stupid stuff was going on, is when I decided to join in.
Are you the arbiter of what's
But
stupid and what
what
isn't
is it called?
stupid?
What is it called? With the whole image of God thing. If I'm correct, I believe what Tog is trying to refer to is like the abstracta idea, that form, in a sense, the humanoid form. Am I getting you right, Tog?
Hold up. Sorry, I was vacuuming. What was that?
When you're talking about like the image of God, are you trying to like refer to like the abstracta, the form, that of
Yeah,
like that
not
humanoid form?
not necessarily the humanoid form, but more or less the abstract form of what is. Because yeah, remember, God is a spirit above all. So ultimately, we're guided by that spirit, whatever spirit is. That's what's the drive is. That's our true form, is the spirit of us. So that true form is only in this body,
Yeah.
essentially, right?
Well,
Think about it. When someone famous plays a video game and they're the best video game player, they are them in that form. They are them in that form. That is their form. It's still them, but they're in a different form.
well, also with the what's it called? The idea of like the image of God. I've seen like many people try to, which is more of a modern thing, actually try to say, well, the image of God is exclusively and literally you being a human and not something else. Which also with that idea and the animals kind of being that way, you have of course the angels being listed as something like that, an animal, but also being listed as similar to humans in shape quite often. Which, if you actually look at it, it is that humanoid shape.
I would say, yeah,
Still,
there's
still with the
probably.
bizarreness of it all, it's still a humanoid shape.
I think, yeah, that shape has that form of it as well. The upright positioning and all that, yeah.
Yeah, which even suggests that it's not just humans that could have it, anyways. But aside from that, if you actually like read some like the commentaries, I just went ahead and was looking at some commentaries on it. They're talking more along the lines of like sovereignty and stuff like that, or at least position they were put in. And then even if you're looking at it from like a good and evil standpoint, good being the idea, like everybody says God is good and all that, and the absence of it is the whole, the evil, the non-entity.
I've been going on a lot of dates recently and getting to know the nature of women, and I think I've figured out how we fell in the garden. I imagine it went something like this, where Adam was talking to Eve, and he says, Eve, here we are, at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die, and all our dreams come true the instant we have them. And then Eve said, yeah, but it's just not good enough, is it?
What's your point?
Boo!
What's your point? Because the man is responsible.
Because women can never be happy.
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Ronan, just
yes,
heads up. Ronan, don't worry.
Yes,
He's just
yes,
a
yes,
troll.
yes,
All he
they
wants
can.
is
No,
Ronan,
you'll
all
have-
he wants is a response out of you.
you will
He's
have
just a
to
troll.
you will have to
Absolutely.
abandon your PhD in incel and try to be like civil about things.
PhD in incel, sorry. That was pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's where he's going. That's where he's going because he doesn't understand a thing if he has to demean women because he doesn't
Well, see,
understand
no.
women because he doesn't understand
He
women.
doesn't. Yeah. See, it was probably again Eve done it to try to do so to better everything, because she saw the benefit of everything that was promised by the fruit. She was swindled above all, right? So let's not forget that about Eve. Eve was swindled by a very outwitted person than she was. And the odd thing about it is the dreaming portion. I'll go in that later. Never mind. I'm not going to mention that. But yeah, she was more or less duped, and the reason why she took the fruit because she thought it would be better. It was for the good, and it would have been good to know and be like God, because hey, why would it be good? And then look, they got in trouble, something like that.
Ronan,
Do you
Not
guys
like
not
that.
have a sense
That's a
of
bad way to
humor?
say it.
It's
You
also,
guys
I
realize
do,
that
I'm
was
just saying.
joke. You guys realize it was a joke, right? Like, are you guys dumb?
I mean, it was obvious I knew it was a joke. Why do you think I was booing
well,
it?
I don't, it seems like they thought I was being
was a
serious or
terrible
something.
joke.
Like, and Erica Hubner, I don't know, she's old, boomer, she's dumb. I think she thought I was being serious too. Like,
Well, then
are you
again,
people?
you've
Are you
spoken the
people
same-
actually this stupid?
Then again, you spoke in the same monotone voice. So
No, P.
wouldn't be
Mark.
surprised.
No, P.
But
Mark.
it was obvious you're trying to do some kind of stupid joke, at least to me, and that's why I was booing you, because it was a terrible joke.
No, you're turning
Not
on.
funny.
That is not a terrible joke.
Didn't laugh.
I stole it from Bill Hicks.
No,
I don't even
No.
know who that is. But
no,
regardless, it's still a bad joke.
no, P. Mars.
It's not a bad joke.
No, P. Mars. What you're doing was
I laughed.
It's from a famous comedian.
what you were hoping people
You
would
just
do.
didn't
P.
laugh
Mars,
because you're biased.
they would agree with you
Will's in
Right.
the back.
And- and belittle women like you want to, but since we called you out, you turn on us. for that.
belittle women.
Remember, I know exactly
Good
what
God,
you're doing.
it's Will Kincaid.
Hippity hoppity, women are property.
I don't think I'm belittling women by telling a joke.
You weren't telling a joke, dude. You were being
Totally told a joke.
It was
No,
absolutely
no,
a joke. I've heard it before. I've got a fucking I've got an encyclopedic knowledge of fucking comedy at this point. And Bill Hicks is one of the big ones that really, you can't mute your microphone. You mute your fucking microphone, asshole. Okay, there we go. Yeah, Bill Hicks is one of those guys that I know extensively about. You tell me a joke, I'll tell you who it's from.
Bill Hicks is awesome. That's a funny joke, and it was on topic. So fuck you guys.
I need,
I
There it is.
I agree with.
I neither condemn nor endorse Bill Hicks.
Confirmation. We got it. Thank you.
I agree with P Mars. It was funny, and you guys just didn't get it.
No, the fact is that he's trying to repeat it in
I felt
in
like a need to.
context.
Sorry, Ronan.
Well, if you were that confident, you'd hear me out in the first place, so I'll just shut up.
What?
Promise?
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I only laughed because I laughed, but I wanted to explain the biblical portion of it because he compared it to Adam and Eve.
Burger King just put out a fucking tweet that was just said women belong in the kitchen on International Women's Day. That's fucking hilarious. And then because they put it out at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then at 5 a.m. they were like, yeah, there's a scholarship for women in culinary arts or whatever. And I was like, no, there wasn't. You guys, you fucking jokers, you know what you were doing. You and Wendy's and all these other fast food companies all clout chasing on Twitter. It was funny though. It's fucking hilarious.
I don't think it is. I think if you laugh at it, you buy into the corporate shill, and it's terrible to buy into it because they win either way.
Well, no, it's funny. Well, okay. So the joke in and of into it to the stupid throwaway fucking comment where everyone loses their mind and they poop their fucking Pampers and squeeze their pee-pee so hard that they can't fucking feel anything anymore. That's what's funny. That's always the punchline is people's overreaction to a stupid comment that's been made probably about 1,000 times. That's what's hilarious.
Dude. Yeah.
It's not funny. It's not funny if you know that it's all a setup. It's not funny.
If you ever want to get an overreaction, check out that Sal guy. Holy God.
Oh,
He gets offended at...
what about him?
He got, like... I was just talking about... I just said the word butt, and he got offended at the word butt. Like, he's like, this is a family show.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
What?
I
Oh,
saw
also
your.
he-
I saw. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's a lag apparently on my end. Anyway, so I saw your video about you talking about being on a Christian fucking dating site or something, or a dating site in general, and you were going on about love, and everybody in Brojo's room just kind of like not getting it, and that was fucking hilarious too. I think P Mars is actually pretty funny. He wasn't funny when I found him, but he's fucking hilarious now. Like unironically funny.
Oh, you guys should run off into the sunset and hold hands.
Yeah, we probably will, and I'll suck his dick too if that'll make you happy. You fucking homophobe. What's wrong with you?
I thought I
sick
did
Okay,
bastard.
pretty well there.
don't project your happy thoughts onto my happy thoughts.
Oh well, you're talking about holding hands like it's some kind of bad thing. Why can't I hold P Mars' hand? Do you hate gay
I never
people?
said
Does it
was.
gross you out?
Who's the one
Yeah,
who imagined
alright.
you two holding hands? I was imagining that. It came from my
You
mouth.
fucking.
So obviously, I endorse it. What you want to say?
Fucking-
You guys
They
should
can't-
never.
They can't.
You guys should never
homophobic.
ship up together.
They can't hold hands if they don't have hands.
You know what? No, you guys get social distancing
bye.
now, 6 feet apart. You guys will never be able to hold hands now. Never.
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
even live in the
did you
same
s-
state. Eat it.
I
Eat
think
it
that
now.
me
Eat it
and-
to reality.
I think that me and Lizard are talking about the same fucking meme, my dude. Hold. No? Okay, never mind. I thought we were
No.
talking about the same thing there for a second.
No.
That guy who
No.
uses motion capture to do animations? No.
When's Smokey coming back?
I
He gets
know
out of
the
prison,
day
dude.
and the hour, but I can't tell you.
Really?
It's a surprise. He is actually, but you
No,
know.
you see, he's not coming back. When he gets to Will's house, Will's gonna kill him and take his.
I had a weird
identity.
dream that he was gonna come on my stream. It was weird.
I-
and he was on my stream.
know
I
what's
was like, "What the
funny?
hell are you doing here? Why are you coming back here and not on your own?" I got like mad. Like, what
I
the fuck
said
you
that
always bring your
Smokey-
shit here?
I said that Smokey was moving here, and everyone thought immediately that he was moving in with me. Yeah, me and my fucking wife, who apparently live in Roslyn with John's mother, who we kicked John out, and then Lo came to live with me, and now I'm gonna have a fucking 40-something-year-old fucking man come live with me in my fucking house. No.
Maybe
No.
if he was like a tranny, I could see it.
I mean, you're
If he was
Jewish,
a
right?
tranny, sure, yeah.
You're Jewish, so you can like you are my indentured servant, and you must do things for me, and I will take
Well,
care
no,
of
he-
you. And if you
no, I
choose to
can't,
leave,
that's-
you may leave.
Nah, I can't. He's a member of the tribe, technically.
Well, he's balding, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
That
What
has
the
to
fuck
give you
is it
some
with
type of
people on
leeway.
YouTube? They're losing their fucking hair, especially atheists.
Oh, I'm losing.
There's not
my
a
hair,
single
too.
one. Not
That's
a
not
these.
good. I'm telling you, dude, you're gonna get 30.
fuckers with their bad legs and their
That's what
Wait,
the
you
dark,
diabetes
the
or
dark
whatever.
side.
You have long hair, don't you, Will? Like it's
I
pretty
do.
shaggy, right?
That's how you can tell I'm a good Jewish boy, is that I have very long. Yeah, I get plenty of it. Yeah, sure.
I bet you if you trim it short, you have a widow's peak.
Stronger my belief in God, the more follicles. I'm like fucking Goku. Fucking hair grows with my power level.
Are you gonna go bald?
Yeah. No, never. Why are you?
I don't think so. I'm 39 and I still got a lot of hair, so I think I'm good.
You're fucking 39. Oh yeah, that's right. You told me that before. It blows me away every time. It's like new fucking information.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 39 in April.
Yeah, me too. Oh well, I'll be 28 in April. But when's your birthday?
27th April.
Mine's the first. Yeah, not too much longer here. Fucking running
You're
out of
born on
20s,
April
guys.
Fool's Day?
Yeah, haha, it's fucking hilarious. Whatever. I haven't heard that 1,000 times. I don't tell people that. I go, I was born on April Fool's Day. I say I'm born on April 1st, and then just hope they forgot what fucking day that is.
That's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is around here, that's when everything opens up, is the 1st of April. So it is kind of like like almost like a holiday, sans the humor of it. It's just fucking snow all the way through fucking March, and then all of a
Fun-
sudden it's
My
tulips
daughter's
and-
also born on the 1st of April too. So that's cool.
actually, or are you?
She's gonna be
No.
6. Wait,
Oh,
what?
cool.
What'd you say?
No, I said like actually.
Oh, yeah.
Actually born on, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Paul Zigo was also born on the 1st of April, which is how I got talking to TJ in the first place. Like actually talking. Because I wish
It's
Paul
actually a-
happy.
Pretty popular date, I think, too.
Yeah. I wish Paul a happy birthday on Twitter once. And then TJ friended me on Facebook at the time. And I talked to him over fucking Messenger on voice. And that was like, I don't know, almost 10 years ago, I guess. I had some casual conversations with him in chat before. And my brother had been on his podcast in the early days. And, but, and
Yeah,
Brett
that's like
Keane.
mentioning. I don't know. That's like mentioning a bunch of nobodies here. And I have no idea who those are.
Nah, it doesn't matter. I have no fucking. This is how I come to your channel to bitch about things that are pissing me off that nobody would give a fuck on my channel, and to soft release stuff like fucking. Although this week's show is gonna be pretty fucking spicy, so I can't actually tell anybody just yet, except for Veckel, because I need him to do some voiceover work for it, and unfortunately, he'll just by me giving him the lines, he'll know exactly who's going to be on and why. And then hopefully he won't fucking tell everybody. I don't have time to draft an NDA for fucking $20 worth of voiceover work. So anyway, he's a good,
yeah.
Why don't you just use your own voice?
because I have people for that. Also, I can't make my voice sound black. I can't even pitch shift it. And not only that, I only pay people when there's something that I can't say.
How do you know that you don't already sound black?
Like I paid, because he doesn't want me to say who does it, but I paid a black man to say it's piss baby the weekend word, and because I can't fucking say that because then people be like, yeah, playing the fucking N-word clip forever. And I can't have that. Not only that, but Lowe has a copy of a clip of me saying the N-word on Quentin's stream when I thought that we were on air because that's what he fucking told me. And I like trolling him with racism. So that clip has actual like value for somebody who wanted to paint me as a racist. So
I don't
the
care. I'll
price.
just say it out right now. I am a staunch racist of America.
Okay. Well,
I
I'm
was an
racist
Irish,
too,
it's
but
American made.
you can
I'm a
only
product made
be
in America.
racist.
Woohoo!
You
And I'm
can only
proud
be
to be
racist
an
against people
American. You're fucking
who.
stomping on my bit. Could you shut
Yep.
the fuck up for a moment so I can freaking do this? Thank you very much,
It's
America.
hard to tell.
And I'm done just like that. Go on, you fucking Jew.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I love you.
Well, no, I was
Uh,
about to say that you
Oh,
can
no, I was
only
just
in
making
America
fun.
you can only be racist against certain types of people and get away with it. So, like, if they're light skinned enough, like white, basically appearing, what's the word? Presenting, I guess. So, like, I hate Armenian women and Italian men. I can't fucking stand either of them. I can tell what they are on site. Just those two though. And nobody seems to care because I can say Dago all day on Twitter and nothing happens, but I say the N-word twice. Or in the case of the last time I got banned from Twitter for a little while, temporarily suspended, whatever. It was a fucking Boondocks fucking meme of Tom telling somebody to eat a dick N-word, and that was classified as a death threat. So telling somebody to eat a dick on Twitter is apparently a legitimate death threat in the eyes of fucking Jack Dorsey. So there you go. But you can hate Armenians and fucking Italians all day. It doesn't matter. You could have a podcast called The Young Turks, and that's just fine.
I think my thank you's messing up.
I was actually thinking about dialing it back on use of the N-word because I was thinking about how if we abuse our rights, that can be used as an excuse to take them away.
They don't really need an excuse. They just kind of do it anyway.
True.
I mean, that's like the ultimate litmus test of how free you are is like basically what you can say. So when they say that I can't say Dago anymore, that's probably way too far. You know.
You know what I think the thing that got Gina Carano in trouble was the anti-mask stance. I think
Probably.
any anti-mask or anti-vaccine is gonna be like the new you're a Nazi basically if you have that opinion.
I mean, the CDC just published their data on masks, and they were basically like, we don't fucking know because the change is still technically only in the 3% margin of error. So
there has been no change. It's all a ploy. It's all.
They said
stuff.
we can't honestly say with all the data that we have of mask places versus no mask places, whether or not this actually does a goddamn thing. Because in some places it looks like maybe it does a little bit, like a reduction, like a 1.3% reduction in cases of coronavirus, and then in other places, it's like, yeah.
I think a lot of these policies they don't have any scientific backing, right? They just have this illusion, like, oh, it's scientifically correct or something.
Well, technically the only scientifically correct thing is if you breathe in, things won't come out or some shit. I don't know because of the mask. Like you can breathe shit in, but you can't breathe it out, essentially. Or am I just wrong with that?
From what I understand, the mask is only to basically protect you, a doctor from like spitting on you.
Yeah, that's what I've always said.
And so yeah, they did this test I know of that they had a guy wear a mask and cough into a petri dish, and then they found the virus in the petri dish, so it doesn't like block the virus or whatever.
No.
Well, it also depends on what type of mask you're talking about too.
And they want you to stay 6 feet away from people. But what about the stuff you cough on that other people get close to? So you go to Walmart, some asshole coughs in his mask, doesn't know he has the virus, comes through the mask fibers and onto a fucking shelf. And then somebody goes to buy, I don't know, a cock ring or whatever. He touches the box of the cock ring that has the virus on it. And then it's like, well, wash your hands. It's like, oh, okay. because people
Yeah.
are really remember to do that all the
And-
fucking time. Every time they
and then
touch
you're like-
something.
You're coughing in your mask, and you're always touching your mask to adjust it, so you're getting the shit on your fingers when then you touch everything. It's, I would admit though that the N95 mask.
How many
does
people
block
actually
it.
regularly wash their mask?
Yeah,
Actually,
no
I
one
do
does
it all
that
the
either.
time.
Well, N95 masks are effective, but the thing is, most people are just wearing these cloth things that don't do anything.
I just like the way it
Well,
feels on the face. Not so much in the summer. I probably won't wear it too much in the summer. Like, no, I'm not gonna wear this.
I have to wear 2 masks for work all the time, and I have had for months and months and months now. And like it's fucking irritating on my beard, and my
Oh, yeah.
fucking it hurts my face because I go 10 hours wearing this fucking thing. The other day I worked a 25-hour shift. It gets fucking annoying. I fucking yeah.
I think someone's making us look like betas. Like
I
the whole
think-
world. Like, look at this and superior. And then somewhere people not wearing any masks at all.
I
Like,
think there's,
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
Texas and Mississippi. God bless them.
Gotta have them in Texas because everyone's a millionaire.
I think some
They're
rich,
winners. They're sinners. Sorry, I'm never done with my things.
Uh,
I think some like rich oligarch
Yeah,
somewhere was just like, I hate mouth breathers. Make them all wear masks. I don't care what you tell them.
yeah, you're probably right about that.
But I think it also has to do with, like, again, that I don't know where it's derived from, but there's something that it's dishonorable to see the lesser people's face. So you cover them up because, so they're not like real people because they're your subject. So you cover their face up because their face are not worthy to be seen or something like that. And I forget where that derives from. Or if it's
Can I
actually
ask a
thing.
question on that subject, actually? Who the fuck gives a shit about the fucking royal family and their problems? Does anybody actually care about those fucking inbred cunts?
Well, I did think it was
I don't know.
interesting that Meghan Markle wanted to kill herself because it goes to show that you can have all the fame and money and you can still want to kill yourself, right? So that doesn't make you happy.
You know, I just got so fed up with hearing the news and everybody's doing streams about it. And I was just like, man, I wish a bitch would. Then they'd have something interesting to talk about instead of fucking the press. You went on Oprah. You went on
fame-
fucking Oprah.
Can fame and riches comport to the image of God? Or is it too corrupt to
It's
comply?
just in the royal family acts elitist.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it's like they've got deals with Hulu and fucking Netflix for some kind of goddamn podcast or fucking limited run show or something, and they're bitching about the media being up in their face, and everyone's like, well, that's consensual. That's on their time. And it's like, yeah, but you're bringing publicity. And by the way, even if you're like, hey, I renounce my royal title. Okay, well, give us the fucking mansion and the money back. And then also, you can't be unrelated to somebody who fucking rules a country. You
Wait,
can't.
can I be called the one true king of England if they're gonna give it up? I'm gonna throw my hat in. I call dibs.
Yeah, they'll hold an election for the monarchy. Yeah, that works.
I called
Anyway.
dibs. I called dibs already. It's too late.
It's like, why does anybody care? It's like, okay, so Princess Diana's fucking car got run off the road by paparazzi. Okay, well then just fucking take away the media's right to do shit like that, and then have them arrested if they do, and if they cause a death because they're being fucking ridiculous, then fucking just give them the fucking guillotine, kill them.
Kill them.
Yeah,
Kill them all.
I mean,
But
you're the
princess
fucking
is in
queen.
the-
Surely you can get something like that done. I mean, you are technically still the head of state, despite what other people say.
how does
The princess
how does
is
your
in another
voice
castle.
is that saying his dentist is Jewish or something? I don't understand. Maybe it's the black voice that I was saying. Maybe his dentist is black. You remind me
Oh,
this black
speaking of
dentist.
black, hi Veckel. I have work for you to do.
You got work for me?
Yeah, you fucking bastard. We've. I need
got my
somebody to
email?
say the. Yeah, I do.
Fucking-
I need somebody to say the N word because I'm not allowed to on the internet because I'll get in trouble. But you can. I'm just kidding. It's not that. It's another thing. How's your narrator voice?
My narrator voice. I don't know. I could give it a shot. I'm at work
All
right
right.
now, so I don't want to. I'm too shy. To
Oh,
do it
don't
around.
want to embarrass. Yeah, but you know, hundreds of people on my YouTube channel. That's fine, but 4 or 5 people in a room.
Do it for the Lord. The Lord calls you to do it, Vekel.
I could try to muster up some sort of Morgan Freeman type voice, I guess.
Well, I'm looking for like how do I gotta give you an example without giving it away because I don't want other people to know. Like I don't know. Like
well, you got
summer
my email.
yeah, summer blockbuster like in a world. You know, that whole
That kind of voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. That's easy, especially if you get me in the morning when my voice is still kind of groggy. I can pull it off real good.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking nut. That's hot. Anyway, yeah, all right, we can get something done.
I do ask for one. I do have one request though. I can't use any profanity, man. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me think. I gotta think if any of the lines actually have any.
Yeah, I could say something risky, but not the hard F-bombs or anything.
Oh, so like bullshit is fine.
No, thanks.
All right, what about retarded?
Yeah, I could do that because I talk about liberals all the time. So.
Well,
Okay,
retarded,
well
that
then.
shouldn't even be offensive because that you could say to.
Well, yeah,
retard
I
something, it's
fucking
just a
I
word.
agree too. But I have to, I don't know, litmus test the room here because it's like I gotta kind of feel out the space because I don't know what people think is profanity and what's not, and it's all pretty
know, right?
subjective.
Yeah,
It is
you
really
never know these
Technically,
days.
if you say that the R word, you can just say it's the French word for late. Like people are late on something. Like, wow, you're late.
Yeah,
you're
you
retarded,
could
and
be
that's
a
the word.
pussy and do that, but you know,
Like,
you
to
could
me-
make
to me-
excuses.
To me, it's like the word doesn't. If I call you a poop head or I call you a shithead, it's like essentially it's the same.
It's the
thing.
same.
Oh,
Well, that's what I hate about the N word is I mean, literally, you just put the word and you fuck it in somebody else's head. Just fucking say what it is. And then people who say they say, oh, the S word. Do you mean shit or slut, skank?
Right.
so
Yeah, I
Willy
think like
boy,
in
what do
the
you think
YouTube
of
chats.
the? Hold up, Mars. I'm trying to switch it back to topic, I guess, because I did want to get his perspective. Because I'm gonna end this in a bit. Because I'm done with work and I'm probably gonna hang out with my wife.
Oh, cool.
But I did want to get your perspective on the whole image of God thing. Like, how do you think that comports to us?
Are you talking about graven images, or are you talking about that man was created in the image of God?
Image of God. Man was created. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, that means that our personalities are pretty similar. A similar or the same condition that afflicts us is also God's affliction. Obviously, since we all look fucking different, we can't be literally in the image of God. That makes no fucking sense. Because he can't be. I mean, he could be, I guess, all colors at once, but also immaterial somehow, and you can square that circle. But I think what's meant by that is that we're not that dissimilar in terms of the essence of our being.
Do you think that because that we have flaws, that reflects that God has flaws?
What?
I don't know. I don't know if flaw is the word. I guess most people would probably describe it as a flaw. I don't know. There's just certain quirks of the aspect of God that are reflected in us. You know,
I think it's
because
like,
he fucking loves and he hates and he passes judgment and he also tells people not to judge other people and you know he does all kinds of he gets all down to all
That
kinds of
reminds me of
wacky
a
shit in
joke.
the Bible.
You want to know
Yeah.
what was it?
Because the Jewish version of God
God's
is
name
not.
is? That's what I remember. Do you want to know what God's name is?
Joshua Gooey.
No, Andy. Because in the verses, Andy walks with me, Andy talks with me.
Uh,
Yeah,
That's
Oh my
cute.
god. That's so cool.
but
Oh god.
yes, because like the Jewish version of God the God of Abraham is not like it's not like a pan-omni God. Like he's not actually necessarily all powerful or all knowing. He knows like damn near everything. He can do damn near anything, but not anything. He's not all things at once all the time.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
I think when it says we're made in God's image, it's like referring to our hearts and minds, and like we're different.
That's more or less what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, we're different than other animals too, as we can kind of use our will in a way to conquer nature, I guess, and mold reality into the way, like God created the universe. We create like things like cities or the internet, so we create like God too.
Yeah. That's about right.
Yeah, so the assertion was that if we're made in God's image and we're flawed, therefore God is flawed. Is that what the assertion was?
That was I think that's what it was. Yeah. It was something that Ronan brought up, so I probably not putting out right, but it was going about the image of God, right? And if we're flawed, that the Creator is flawed. But I pointed out when this came to address about how we're made perfect, like unto the Lord. So the Lord's perfect if we're made perfect, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to be perfect if we're still flawed.
But see, that's the other. See, that was the other part of the argument too. I mean, the word perfect doesn't mean immutability. It doesn't mean that you can't change. The word perfection just simply means you're at a point where there's no more needed to be done. You're at a point of completion. That's all it means. But it doesn't mean that it couldn't change after that. So we're not perfect in the same way that God is perfect, meaning that he's unchanging and stuff.
Right. Well, that's the thing is because I look at my dog. I didn't make my dog, but I look at him and I'm pleased with how he is, even if he's an asshole sometime. And I say this dog is the perfect dog. He's the perfect dog for me, right? Maybe he's not perfect to some other asshole, but for me, he's perfect. So,
right.
I mean, literally, because he's a Chihuahua. So most people would say he's yappy. He's a fucking rat. They shit everywhere. They're ankle biters, right? But it doesn't matter because they don't have to have a fucking Chihuahua. I do because I chose to have
a bit of a pest problem. You need to get an exterminator for that.
But let me tell you, is that a Jew joke? Stop calling me a fucking cockroach, you racist.
No!
You sick bastard. How dare you? But yeah, no, so
I did not see that coming.
When God goes, hey, you're perfect, it means that you're perfect in terms of what God wanted.
It's like that James Blunt song, "You're beautiful."
So even when we fall, he's like, oh man, that's going to be rough for you. Because get this. And then he lays it out and Adam's like, I'm sorry, she's going to do what out of her snatch for a month? Or for, not a month, for a week every month.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh.
But we're perfect in that we were made to make choices of our own free will. And that we were made in,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, we were made in God's image, in that if he was made mortal too, he would probably make some fucking mistakes. He would probably do some shit that's, maybe he wouldn't necessarily sin, I guess, because he's the guy who knows the rule book in and out, back to front.
Yeah,
but
perfection. Perfection doesn't mean without flaw. It just means that it's without any flaws that you don't have planned.
Well, humans have made up artificial flaws when it comes to the Bible.
Think of it more as like a perfection unto Christ, right? The way we follow and we're perfected.
Yeah, according to
it's like that episode. It's like that episode of Rick and Morty with Toxic Rick and Toxic Morty when they go to the day spa. Yeah, that's what they thought was. Yeah. That's what they thought was the definition of toxic for them, not what is toxic universally, because there's no universal perfection. There's no universal definition for that or a toxic or anything else.
Well,
So
just
that's
get
why,
into the
Yeah.
forms of beauty, like what is beauty and what it, and all that. What
it's
is
also
ugly? What is beautiful?
it's all subjective terminology that is different and varies from person to person. So when you say perfect, my version of perfect and your version of perfect are completely different. And then when we apply that to a supernatural entity that we don't know the true nature of because he's supernatural, we're talking past each other because we're using subjective definitions to get down to what is perfection.
Perhaps with the Father, yes, but with Christ, not so much. I don't think. Maybe, but with Christ, you might be able to at least by
I
what
don't
you get
know.
in the
Time
book,
to
right? You kind of know what to
destroy
do.
all of humanity.
No, if you have every intention to build a particular thing, right, and it has all of the qualities that you desire for it, and you finish it, is it perfect? Yes, because it has everything that you wanted in that thing that you had intended it to be, right? So it's perfect, but it doesn't mean that that thing, whatever it is that you build, cannot be affected by anything external to itself. I mean,
Well,
unless you want it to be perfect in that fashion.
Yeah, I
I mean,
described it as like a ripped pair of jeans are by design, right? They're still a pair of jeans and not the best pair of jeans, nor as function goes. But to someone, those are the best pair of jeans,
right, they're perfect, right, because
Yeah.
they have a perfect
Same
fit
thing with the
People think
Chihuahua
that they
scenario.
desire.
Yeah.
Right, right.
people think God must help everybody because he's God and he's omnibenevolent. That doesn't make sense. That's a
Technically,
sign of
yeah.
perfection that
I
doesn't
think-
exist, and that's reflected in Yashka and Jesus, because he doesn't choose to help absolutely everyone while he's down here. There are people that come up to him that he chooses not to.
Oh, Will, them's fighting words. You know, the Armenians don't like that kind of talk.
And he gets and
Well, he does. He helps them, but he rebukes them as well, right? Because he's like he gives them the helping hand, but when he's had enough, like these moochers need a yeet. Kind of like
Yeah.
after the fish and the bread. Like, all right, these guys have been following me. If you guys aren't going
But
to be
wait a minute.
serious, you guys can go away or turn away. Because they
But-
couldn't stand by his words or something along those lines.
No, but sometimes, going back to what Will was saying, we do see efforts where God does do more for others while he doesn't do the same for another person or another group of people. So we
Right.
do definitely clearly see some distinction.
Well, I
there.
thought you were going to go to universal salvation, which isn't the case.
No,
that's my-
definitely
no,
not.
That's
my
provisional
thought.
salvation. That's what it is. It's like,
Well,
but
when
you
you
get
say-
heaven later on, so he's going to settle that score later when your physical body dies. And it's
When
like, well,
you-
that's all well and good, except, all the people who never know Christ at all, or the people
When you
who
say
are
universal
mentally
salvation,
incapable.
When you say
Well, that-
universal salvation, what are you inferring? What do you mean?
Well, I'm using somebody else's definition, so I'll just give you what I mean by that when I say that. It's not what I believe universal salvation to be. I was kind of poking fun at the idea, where it's like, well, we have universal salvation because Jesus says if you just accept him as your Lord and Savior and do all this shit, you get into heaven, and anybody could do that. Well, not anybody. That's
That's right, and not anybody.
that's the straw man that I attacked. Yeah. It was sort of a setup to jab
Yeah,
at.
it was a
say this
terrible
and-
straw man of universal salvation.
Yeah.
Yeah, universal salvation says that anybody can get saved, regardless of whether or not they believe in God or accept God as Lord and Savior.
No,
In the
not
end,
really.
they would all.
Well,
They
I've
will
run
all
into
recognize-
universalists
Unless you're
too.
picking up unless you're
Well,
picking
that's
New Age
essentially what it
versions.
is, though, because even
Hold
if
up,
they die
Mr.
in
Lizard's
hell,
trying to talk, guys. You guys keep walking over him.
well, I was in the middle of saying something. Go ahead.
Sounds like fucking olive oil in here.
Go ahead, Lizard.
Tog, let him finish.
Oh God, we're doing this. Let him
Well,
finish. Go ahead. No, you.
Well,
No, you
all I was going to say, like I say all the time, with regard to universal salvation, they teach that even the wicked are going to be one day reconciled unto God at the day of judgment. So everything's going to be reconciled to God. So that means you don't have to do anything good for God at all. You don't have to turn to Him for relationship. You can do as many evil things as you want, and then die. But then eventually you're going to get saved anyway. In the end, that's what they believe.
We'll die and get resurrected and then get to the lake of fire.
Yeah, so that takes the ultimate obligation that we as
And then
believers have to preach the
Christ
gospel.
is responsible for like overseeing it, basically.
I don't
Yeah,
think
the
so.
problem is it's
I
just not
think in a
scriptural. That's all.
sense, I think in the sense like
I know
Christ
what
says
you
he's.
think, Tog. I know what you think.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you don't need to repeat yourself on what you think.
Ah, he's yelling at me.
Yeah, Will, let me know. Send me an email. I'm working right now, and so yeah, send me an email so I can look at it. I'm off tonight, so I can definitely try to do it sometime later tonight or early tomorrow morning. So my voice is groggy, and yeah, just let me know when you want me to do it.
By the way, Tog, did you ever see that video I sent you yesterday? Not the one on Mixed Public, but the other one.
I don't know. Probably not. I didn't know you sent me a video.
Feckle, you got
right on
Cash
your-
App? How am I gonna pay you? I'd rather not expose my true
Nah,
identity.
don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it.
All right, radical.
Either way.
But you are a Jew,
yes.
so you got some money. So okay.
Yeah, of course I got money from fleecing the goyim all the live long day.
You know, you should just, Will, you should just go into, what's his name? Phrases channel and start talking about blood libel just for the sake of doing it.
You know what? I just might, but I actually have a new shirt coming out. It's eat, pray, fleece the goyim instead of love. 'Cause that's
You said praise the goyim or praise?
no. Eat. It's like eat, pray, love, but it's eat, pray, fleece the goyim.
Oh, fleeced. Oh, okay, fleeced the goyim. Right.
Right. I'm gonna use that clip of you saying fleece the goyim. I know what you're hiding under that. Fucking, you got curly locks under that bitch. I bet you don't trim the sides of your beard neither. I know what's going on. You had rhinoplasty. You got a big old fucking hook nose. I know it. You can't lie to me. You're a member of the tribe. I can smell it. I can smell it from here. It smells like latkes and fucking matzah.
The tribe.
And bagels.
That's basic bitch juice shit. You gotta fucking. He smells like gefilte fish. His balls, it smells like gefilte fish. If you've never had gefilte fish, don't bother. It's fucking awful, but it's mostly to do with what it looks like in the texture. But, you gotta have fish on Fridays, so whatever.
Oh, I had a question for you, Will.
All right.
Atheists that get snipped, let's say they were done for Christian reasons or something
Yeah.
along those lines, are they still like into the club or no?
Nah, there's a whole covenant thing. I mean, like, if you already have it, you don't have to like go get a double fucking snipped or whatever. But because I went through this, because I was like, well, I'm ethnically Jewish, but I was a Christian for a while, and then I was an atheist for an even longer period of time, and they were like, no. Because it's the covenant with God when you're a man requires you, if you're not already snipped, to get snipped. So, like, John Gishla, some people know him as J-Dubs. Try not to use that, but people insist on it. But anyway, he had to get a circumcision as an adult so that he could marry his Jewish wife because it's not kosher. He needed to fucking have it. And he had to get it done. But if you're just, some Christian fucking goyim with no ancestry or whatever, there's a whole process for you to convert anyway, because it's more of a cultural thing than it is a religious thing in terms of what people mean traditionally by conversion, which is acceptance by the community. Because in terms of a conversion, it's just like fucking Christianity. If you want to practice Judaism in a religious sense, you could just fucking do that. If you're a man, you still have to get a circumcision and get a Torah scroll and wear tefillin and the whole fucking thing. but you know, you can say you're a Jew all day long. You probably won't be accepted into the Jewish community if they don't see you actually doing things to be accepted into the tribe, because that's the other part of Judaism, is it's tribal affiliation. So, and
What if they start their own
some
tribe?
sects of
All
Judaism,
among you is actually correct.
some sects of Judaism don't give a shit. The reformers, they don't even care. They barely fucking follow the Torah, to be honest with you, because they're like, yeah, you can be as gay as you want. You can be open about it. Nah, you don't have to have kids. Yeah, we know it's a commandment, but whatever. And it's like, you want to eat pork? Fine, as long as you love God or whatever. But I guess if you want to be a fucking loser, you could be a reformer, I guess. Or you could be a big Huckma son of a bitch like me and go Orthodox and fucking rock that fucking mop top all day and not shave the sides of your beard. I'm lucky because it doesn't get much longer than this anyway. So, and you can use certain implements to cut it. You just can't use like scissors or a knife or anything like that. It has to be perfectly round to do it, which is extremely difficult. But if you get the right kind of razor
Ice cream scooper.
implement. No, there's fucking electric shavers with round blades that let you fucking get away with it, which is kind of I don't know. It's a dumb loophole, but whatever. Anyway, nice Jewish boys get more tail anyway, so fuck them. I don't care.
Does anybody else think P. Mars should become Amish?
I don't know. I think he should fucking. He'd make a good Jew, actually. To be honest with you, he'd probably get more pussy that way too. If we're being completely honest with each other, because there's no prohibition. Not only that, but as soon as he sleeps with a broad, he's married. So. Can't get out of that one then. Who's the fucking Ben Shapiro's sister, Abigail Shapiro? She's got big titties. There's a lot of that going on in the Jewish community. I don't know what it is. If you can get past the nose, we're talking in stereotypes here for a reason, but if you can get past the nose, just fucking small waistline, big titties, big fucking asses. Oh, there you go, Volt. But
And then when they get pregnant, though, that mom fat just floats out. And they're
no. It doesn't. That doesn't happen until they hit like their really late 30s or early 40s. They just get fat all of a sudden, and that's not bad. That's not bad. You still keep the tits and the ass though. So if you can,
Actually, just natural women retain water more than men. That's why they're all so poofy and plump and yummy.
I know, but we're talking in stereotypes here for a reason, because But damn,
Yummy's
Jewish
objectifying, but I don't mean to be objectifying. I hope they get the idea.
I don't care. It's National Women's Day. Fuck them. I don't care. I did the same thing to black people all Black History Month because I don't give a shit. So, like with Veckel,
I don't follow man's
Nate.
holiday.
Nah.
Right.
Well, there's only one holiday that's specifically designated by God in the fucking Bible that's going to be here, where when the Mashiach comes, and that's Purim, because fuck the Goyim. That's 90% of our holidays.
Cool, though. Mother's Day is always cool.
90% of our holidays are us celebrating the death of Goyim. Even Passover, there's like a little bit at the end where it's like, and we pray for the death of all Goyim, basically.
Why you can help by starting it,
Yeah, could do. I mean, I think that part was added after the Holocaust, that you can see why. It's like, basically, it's not, okay, so I've kind of hyperbolized what the thing is, but they're like, the end of the prayer is basically something like, and may the Goyim receive everything that they've done unto us tenfold, which is pretty harsh, even in the most benign of situations. So.
Yeah, well, I hit that shit back with no you.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Veckel. Oh, no, I can't. Vecca lost his card. I can't get an N-word pass.
No. If I had my card, you wouldn't get an N-word pass.
Oh man, you just threw my fucking Exodia cards in the goddamn
Hey,
ocean.
I got a green card you could borrow. Would that help?
I always
you could
knew
say
you were
negro.
foreign.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I can't say the S word in Yiddish for some reason, even
do a
though
real- you could do a real bad video edit or audio edit where you say something and then every time you get ready to say the word, you just have a edit of somebody else saying it.
well, yeah, that's true. Well, that's kind of what
I
I
don't
do. Yeah, so like I can say fucking, I can't say the S word in Yiddish that everyone thinks is the N word, but I can say the actual one because they insist it's not, which is a kafir or kafir in Yiddish. The Hebrew word is kafir though. It means black soul.
Well, my break is pretty much up, so I'm gonna head out, guys. I'll be listening from the outside.
Yeah, I think Tog is going to wrap it up here soon anyway, because he said he wants to spend time with the wife and child.
That's
No,
no
my kids
fun.
are in school right now. I'm gonna go out to the woods. We're gonna go walk.
Oh, neat.
I'm just driving on the way there. Just driving and chit chatting. Not
Neat.
being a very good driver. Texting, driving, drinking, smoking, not paying attention, swerving, flipping people off. You know, the whole jazz.
Yeah, you're a real fucking
Yeah,
laughing,
degenerate.
joking, nuts.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, take care.
Later.
See you, Vecco. God bless. You too, Mr. Lizard. You left without saying a word.
Smoking, joking, token, not taking authority too seriously. Yeah,
I
sure.
think he called us. I think he called us self-defeating or something in the private chat or something. Self-destructs. He said self-destructs. I don't know what that was in reference to. Maybe you.
He fucking exploded.
Maybe he did.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. He self-destruct. Okay. Thought he was calling us. I can't tell. So do you get like a little bit of gold every time you sell Judaism?
No, we're not allowed to sell Judaism. I do, however, get gold every time I kill a goyim and he has gold fillings. Yeah, we aim high here in the fucking.
Sorry, he has gold fillings.
Hold on. Uncle Sam says something funny in the comments, and I'm gonna do it in his voice. Sometimes I wonder why Weary speaks the way he does. Is he trying to be tough because he's such an effeminate inside? And that's all of the fucking grammar out the window. But okay, I'm gonna try to answer this based on my English interpretation of whatever the fuck is going on here. I don't know
I
what.
would be like, if I'm more effeminate, fuck you if I take after my mother. How dare you?
Well,
She's a wonderful
I do
lady.
take after my mother because my mother talks exactly the same fucking way. She calls me a fag, I call her a cunt. That's how we greet each other. I'm not shitting you. Other people who were previously just internet personalities who have come to live in this area who have met my mother, of which there are many, will tell you that she literally says, fuck you, fuck this, you fucking faggot, get off the fucking, and she uses Yiddish words and shit, even though,
And fuck this song? Sorry.
and fucking Italian phrases too. She always has too. We're not even a little Italian either, so that's weird. Effeminate? I guess I'm a little effeminate.
You do have kind of long hair.
Yeah, I do, but that's more of a religious thing than not really supposed to get a fucking haircut. But I don't know. I used to be a big fag. I mean, I'm
Well,
not
actually,
really.
I actually wonder, like, what is short hair compared to back then? Because back then they used to grow it like women's hair to go all the way down to like what, their butts or whatever, right? So like, is
Right.
having a man's hair at the shoulders considered short hair, and not
I
like
don't
all the way
know.
cut up top? Like that's really a question I wonder. Like, are all men supposed to have like long hair, like at least up until the shoulders? I think maybe so. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, even when I had sex with men, it was mostly trannies who looked like women and twinks and stuff. I was mostly a pitcher, not a catcher, for all of you Christians who still use this phrase, outdated fucking memes like that. I tried it a couple of times. I had it once, it was alright, but that was with somebody who had a vagina, so, but that's a story for another time. Yes, Will Kincaid has been pegged, and he enjoyed it, but, you know, the fact of the matter is that, you know, that is not why I talk like that. And besides, it's all fucking pointless now because I'm married, so, to a woman who is 100% straight. Super straight, I think, is the word now. So,
I'm super straight. Yeah, right. I am super
and we,
straight.
you know, I mean,
Well,
there'll
see,
be more.
I had that argument too. Like when I first came on, I told people like I'm bisexual, but then I thought about it, I'm like, well, technically I'm married. I'm not going to be interested in any other sexes. So why still identify with something that's
Well,
technically
that's what
not
I
true,
say
right?
is that, yeah,
I'm
that's
married
what I've
now.
always
Like I
said.
love my wife. Like what the fuck? Like how can I? If I say that, that implies that I'm still interested in other people, right? I'm like, no, that can't be true. So no, I'm married. That's how I identify. I'm married. That's my
Well,
sexuality.
they were okay. So fucking Thick Shades is still in the chat. Thicky's like talking about a more effeminate. And listen, I talked to Smokey State a lot. I guess I get what is once every other day a lot. I think maybe compared to how much I talk to other people. I guess, but in terms of like effeminate, I don't know. He doesn't seem that fucking way. I definitely am. I think more than Smokey, but there
the
were
only thing
some
that's
rumors
really
passed
effeminate
around
about him is his voice. To be honest, like just
Yeah,
his Valley Girl lingo. That's it.
well, that's because he lives sort of in that area ish.
And so what? He can't sound like a man still. Like, come on now. I'm sorry.
Well, you do get naturalized to accents and things. If you were born in one
you
place
don't.
but you spent
No,
most
you
of your
do
life,
not.
yeah,
Not,
sure you
not
do.
if you're conscientious. Not if you're conscientious. You do not.
Yeah, if you cared about what the fuck.
I mean,
you
I
sounded like.
don't go around. I don't go around sounding like this because I'm from Chicago, there, bub. You know.
Yeah, well, listen, did you ever talk like that before?
Oh yeah, sure, dude. Plenty of times.
All right, well, there you go. Then you're just code switching at that point. You just stuck in one mode. You can do it now.
That's what I'm saying. Why choose to sound like a Valley Girl when you can sound like a man? You know, like he has the pitch for it. But
He does it when he does his monologue. He does it when he does his monologues.
Sometimes. But then when he gets mad, he gets Valley. High pitched, wheelie.
Like when I call him on the, I don't know. He gets excited when he's fucking, I don't know, talking shit about somebody. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people's voices will do that on the internet that I've noticed. Their pitch gets, I think mine does that too. But yeah, I mean, most of the time if I call him and we're just having a conversation about nothing in particular, he'll be like, he just sound like his deep monotone voice. That's just what he sounds like when he talks. And he almost talks like his natural speaking voice and his cadence and his accent and everything is basically the way he talks in monologues, except for it's a little more authentic sounding where there's not so many deliberate pauses. So, other than that, let's see here. How does a person talk every other day to somebody who is detained by the legal system? I heard the guy was accused of molestation was detained. No, he wasn't. It's not him. I said it a million times. And yeah, he would have been if he was. He would have had to have post bail also. There was, I mean, like, and so he would still be in jail. I mean, Smokey's not made of money. He's got a decent amount of it, but most of it's come out. Most of his wealth has come in the past 3 years.
He's not around now. He's not around now, so maybe he is in jail.
I know. Well, that's coming soon.
Right.
But
he actually got a ticket. He's like, I actually got to go to jail for some time.
Oh, that is your point, Richard. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I missed some of the fucking nuance in that in conversation online and in chat just through text. All the nuance is fucking lost. So I read that and I just read it verbatim, and then I don't know what the. Anyway, yeah, he's not in jail. He never was in jail. Even the guy Josh was never in fucking jail. People just keep saying that like it's a fact, and then they don't show like because Josh's shit has been doxxed now. So what's the point of saying, "Well, I don't want to dox
Well,
somebody"?
he was at least booked, which is going to jail in that sense. He was put in some type of cell.
Well, yeah. What I'm
A
saying
booking-
is he was
a booking
charged,
cell,
but
but
he was charged, but
It
he was
still
never
counts.
convicted.
it
he was
still counts as jail. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I know plenty of people who have been arrested but never convicted. They were just let out.
Conviction doesn't matter. Yeah, convictions don't matter.
Oh yeah, because
You
we
can
live
get-
in
you
the
can
world
get
of
booked
guilty
and all
until
that, but
proven
yeah.
innocent. Yeah. He thinks every Asian is Chinese. No, that's just how you sound. You talk like this all the time. Why? Oh, Weary, why are you so mad? What do you want to know about me? Ask a question.
Actually, you're doing a poor job. Actually, you really are.
I don't know. I can't modulate my voice that well to what he sounds like. Give me a fucking break. What do you want from me?
You know, if you're gonna be a comedian, you better get a raps on this shit. You better practice.
Oh,
'Cause if you
hello.
can't do it, then if you can't even do a Korean accent correct, then what's
Please
the
buy
point
my.
of even
What the
being
fuck does a
joker?
Korean speaking? Koreans don't need to speak English, so I don't know what they're supposed to sound like. They make plenty of money not speaking English. So it's like, oh, that's not what a
That's a
Korean
decent point.
American accent sounds like. It's like, well, what the fuck does it sound like? Because every time, like anytime BTS comes up or like fucking whatever, it's all subtitled or. I mean, Korean culture is pretty neat right now. It's like America, but like more punk rock. So
I
there's
love
that.
watching the street vendors. That's one of my big thing. I can't help but just watch all the food, the breakfast food and foods they make. It's making me want to get a flat top and get all the ingredients that they do and make some of the stuff myself. Because it's
Yeah.
pretty freaking awesome. I love watching it. It's one of my favorite things to watch, to be honest. Like if you'll catch my videos, if I'm screen sharing, you'll probably see my stuff is mostly full of like watching cooking stuff.
What
And
am
I don't even like to cook, but it's making me want to.
Well, what am I supposed to be butthurt about again? Why am I butthurt? I'm not. I'm just kind of like passively making fun of you, kind of. But I thought we were friends. What happened? Are we breaking up, Thick Shades?
Sing songs. Gotta sing songs.
Oh, I've had the time of my life. I could do Japanese. I think I probably do Japanese accents better. Oh, Americans customers, hello. Buy my Japanese tea, please. Puri puri.
That's all I think. Was there things that doing accents is racist or no? Because they're improvs, right?
Well, because
It's a form of comedies, but like I know it can be used as such, but if I guess it really depends on bias, right?
I don't think it's fucking racist. I think what it is, you know, when you're born in a different country, speaking a different language that has vowel or consonant sounds that are heavier or in more frequent use than in the language, like for example, American English, and that translates into mispronunciation. And then you just point that out because that's how somebody like that would talk if they didn't have a complete mastery over their cadence. That's not racist. That's just pointing something out that's obvious. And I can see how somebody wouldn't find that funny, but to call it racist is kind of fucking stupid. I mean, I make fun of Scouse people all the time over on the fucking G panel because it's full of Brits and there's like 10 different fucking accents over there. Scottish,
Oh, dude, I love
South
that.
Irish, North Irish, Scouse, Cockney, Welsh.
I love comparing them all, though, right? Because they're all beautiful and unique in their own way. It's like hearing a songbird, right? It's like you hear the accents, and to me, that's like hearing human species, different songbirds. You know, the different types of variations of accents that we all have, and I love hearing it. And even
And
the
then
sounds of
there's-
someone's voice is unique. You know.
And even like there's even a form of English Ebonics over there. where it's like oi bruv and stuff like that, where words that where it's like slang and stunted terminology that's used over there by exclusively one racial group for the most part, and other people who are trying to conform to that racial group stereotype. So there's that. And I forget what it is, but there's some group over there that is like
Look, I want to show this. Because I believe the debate's gonna be April Fools. So at 6:30.
Wait, who said that? Who said 6:30?
I did. On April Fools, it's gonna be call it? The debate between Jill and Richard. I've been waiting for it for months because I've been seeing it in the Jill's
thanks for letting me know, because that's a Thursday, and I plan on doing a special show that day.
So that'd be pretty cool.
I've got basically all of my special shows for the next till the end of the year booked out, because the second to last Thursday in December of this year is going to be the 100th episode, if I can keep up. I am going to take time off, but I'll have pre-recorded episodes that I'm going to do. That'll go up while I'm Gorn.
Do you ever call your wife Dorn?
No, but that is my safe word.
I do that. I call my wife Dorn. So I'm like, hello, Dorn. I love you. I'm like, why do I do that? Like, I love Brett Keane too. Like, for that meme, but I love that.
Because
that bit,
Brett Keane has done something that we didn't think he would do. He has transcended communities and
dude, he's like one of my first cherry stream poppers, like legit. Him and Rage. So it's like that weird love fest that I caught right in the middle of when I first came to YouTube, like legit.
Basically,
watching.
Every single person in this community has come out of some interaction with Brett Keane. The reason that they are known, or where they got their sort of almost, maybe not start, but foothold, has something to do with Brett Keane. Everybody
gotta make this a video comic book series. And Brett King's gonna be the ultimate like screenwriter. He's like, it was me all along, fools. I designed.
It kind of was.
And he's gonna narrate it. And we're gonna pay him to be the narrator of this comic, and it's gonna work. And everyone's gonna make millions, and it's gonna be wonderful.
Brett Keane kind of kickstarted the great debate community. Even the term itself was something that he didn't invent those words in that order, but he did popularize it, or begin to popularize it. So he almost coined the phrase "the great debate community." And that's kind of where all this shit started, because he was the first really big, except for what the fuck is this guy? I always mix him up with Sparkles. Who the fuck? Captain O Awesome. That's why, because Captain Sparkles. Captain O Awesome and Brett Keane were the two big guys, and then Captain O Awesome yeeted himself basically off the internet because he was a fucking moron. And then sort of TJ came up, and then later on there was like Sargon and fucking Armored Skeptic and some of these other people. But it was basically Brett and Captain O Awesome back in the day. And they just were endless fucking shit talkers. And they'd shit talk anyone, and Brett, when he still went outside, would do it to people's faces. He'd go into churches and shit talk pastors and priests to their face, and he'd fucking record it. So, but he's like 7 feet tall, actually. So, very cool. Nice.
Yeah. Well, I'm here with the wife. Hey, look, there's like a building over there. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, later. You too.
I'm gonna go make some dead bodies. Take care. Bye bye. Love you.
Take care. Bye.